People think that it's going to be a rapture that decimates the United States, and that's why the United States isn't mentioned in prophecy. Because this huge rapture decimates the country. I don't see our rapture decimating this country.
They think it's going to be millions. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't tell nobody that, though.
Yeah, I just don't see it. We've got a Congress full of lizards and Satan worshippers and blood drinkers, and how is a rapture going to decimate this country? It's not.
Yeah.
We've got so much evil in this country. The Christians are so outnumbered now, and half of the Christians in the churches today are following the Antichrist agenda and don't even realize they're sitting in beast churches. I mean, the biggest religions out there today with the most numbers, the charismatics and the Pentecostal movements, the Benny Hinns, the Copelands, and the whole blasphemous network. That's the bulk of Christianity right there. They're all sitting in the beast network, in beast churches.
God has mysterious ways of working, getting to you, because my preacher was saying something, and it sounded so freaky that I knew that I was in the wrong church.
At what point, when they're hissing and growling and screaming out curses in the form of tongues, does somebody not feel something's not right in their spirit?
Yeah, and I coached him, and he was just bitching, and I knew it wasn't right.
I don't know if you listened to our show on Benny Hinn a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
So this is an Antichrist, or could it be changing the next president?
Well, I really believe if it's going to accelerate down the pike really quickly right now, it would be Bush Jr.
Yeah.
He's all the time over and over in the Old Testament prophecies. The king of the Babylon is referred to as the Antichrist, that we call him the Antichrist in the New Testament. He's called King of Babylon in the Old Testament. And we know that to be the United States without a doubt.
Yeah.
And look at Bush, what he wants to do this inauguration. He wants, we've been screaming for years that he's Nazi, he's going into Nazism and fascism. His grandfather was arrested by Congress during the Second World War for trading with the enemy because he was funding Hitler. And so then we have George Bush, his son, as president in 91, declaring the New World Order, which is fascist. And now we have the grandson, George Bush Jr., ready to have a whole military showing at his inauguration. He wants the show of the military. So he could, it's so Hitlerist, it just makes you sick.
Yeah, and have you seen the Bible code, the military draft of 2006?
Well, if it,
I've seen one in episode.
People can find years in the codes. It don't mean squat because time can be accelerated and delayed.
Oh, okay.
So, it's something that you can find for a year, and that's like, you just wait and see because things can be pushed up, they can be delayed, they can be canceled. You really can't use it as a timeline to pin down future events.
Yeah, because so many things were supposed to happen last year, and it didn't.
Yeah, we still have free choice. I mean, if we decide to repent as a nation, I mean, that isn't going to happen, but, things would change then.
Oh, yeah, because speaking of that, I was looking at one website about the Planet X. It's supposed to be called the Ball of Redemption. Have you heard about that?
No, what was the second part? I know Planet X.
Oh, it's called the Ball of Redemption, Planet X.
Yeah.
It talks about how we're supposed to repent, and we can prevent that from hitting Earth. But I doubt it.
And you know what? It doesn't always have to happen here. So, the Lord will relent. But He knows, looking ahead, that, we ain't going to. Because we can't. I mean, it's almost impossible right now because of the satanic hold on our governments today.
Yeah. And
it even prophesied that last days Babylon would be the home base for aliens, to Satan's armies. Mm-hmm. And we already are. We know that in New Mexico. That entire state, all the way up through to Iowa, is just one big, huge underground system and subsystem of bases and bases and bases of aliens. And we have joint military bases with these things where we're exchanging technology for humans.
Yeah, because right here where I live at White Path, they're doing stuff. In Dayton, Ohio, they're doing stuff with aliens. Yeah,
for the whole Four Corners area, Dulce, New Mexico, Los Alamos, Area 51 in Nevada, is a joint human and alien base. And America fulfills every prophecy given by these Old Testament prophets.
Mm-hmm.
And then John is just the tip of the iceberg. But it's John that everybody misconstrues and says, oh, it says that this queen of, the mother of harlots is on 7 mountains. Well, the Vatican's on hills. They're not mountains.
Yeah, because I read where it says...
And it describes it a couple verses down, but those mountains are.
Yeah, because it says, or somewhere it says the queen or the mother will watch as it burns or something like that, referring to England.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely talking about America.
Well, all the kings of the earth are stunned that when America is burned in 1 hour, they're surprised, which that will tell you that if they're stunned and surprised, they didn't have anything to do with it. Because I wouldn't be surprised. They'd all be sitting back clapping. Oh, the great Satan's probably dead.
Yeah. So
when I first heard the term Great Satan, about 10 years ago with Iran and all their hatred towards America, when you first hear it, you think how nasty, but then later you realize how prophetic.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be destroyed by the Yellowstone, the volcanoes. It's
going to be a mixture of things, but if you look at the terms used, that the destruction comes from an army from the north. In the Strongs, that north is uppermost parts of heaven, up where the Lord lives. And so, if you read my article on the destruction of America in 1 hour, it sounds like an alien invasion that is coming here to destroy America. And if you're not familiar with the alien, the whole alien agenda.
Yeah, I read about it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's different races of aliens out there, and they have their own galactic federation, which is called the UN, what we consider the UN.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own called the Galactic Federation, and the Lord's going to let those aliens, those groups unite to attack Lucifer here for what he's doing to Earth. And America is his home base, and they're going to come and destroy his home base, but he escapes. He's probably on to Jerusalem at that time, or he goes to Jerusalem. He ends up at Jerusalem to go ahead and start up the cheerleading to bring up the armies for the Battle of Armageddon. But these aliens, the Lord's going to allow to come and destroy his home base, which is America. Because when they come, our defenses can never get off the ground. Soldiers are just found dead in the streets. They never even get to what weapons they do have. They run out of ammo, which means that they're shooting off so many weapons that they just run out of ammo. They can't keep up. And every city is burning, which reaches out into the rural areas. The rivers are dried up. I mean, this stuff there's no way man-made weapons could do all of this destruction in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And I've seen in the codes again and again and again how when these aliens come, that they're coming with fire.
Yeah, because I heard that there's supposed to be something coming May the 5th of this year.
Yeah, well, this Maitreya, if he comes with a show of force or not, remains to be seen. But he is from the abyss, from space. He's an Anik. I expect him to be very tall. Depends on which one they use. The one that looks like Jesus, or the dark-skinned freak that scares everybody on my website. This picture.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people fighting for the role of Maitreya. There isn't just one person. Of course, Benjamin Cream will tell you it's his dude, but there's a couple of different players fighting for that role.
Yeah, I see.
So it's going to be interesting, and the Bible codes have always been dominant that he would arrive in May. I don't know what year, but the month of May is the dominant one.
Yeah, that's what
So.
Yeah, that's going to be a year of destruction, probably.
Yeah, well, it sure is. 2005 in Greek means year of judgment. So
I got about 6 months worth of